So hello everyone, thank you for joining us. I am Erin Bingham. I'm a nurse practitioner and a yoga instructor. And today I was going to focus on the benefits of meditation, and then the benefits of meditation in the setting of chronic pain. And then I'll walk us through a meditation session that's about 5 minutes or so. So brief meditation. And meditation has been studied for a long, long time, and the benefits of to those who are living with chronic pain are many. So what we know about chronic pain is that there are a couple different mechanisms going on. So there is a central nervous system that is very, very excitable, very heightened, in a heightened state. And so what meditation can do is it can bring down that heightened state of the nervous system through actually communicating with the central nervous system. And so we have two different parts to the central nervous system: the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and relax, and then the sympathetic nervous system, or the fight or flight. And when we meditate, we move closer into the parasympathetic nervous system, that rest and relax state. And that communicates with the nervous system to calm down the nervous system. So that's one of the benefits. In addition to that, there's actually been research done, controlled research, very good research, quality research, that has shown that people who meditate for 20 minutes a day, I'm not saying that's the goal right out of the gate, working up to that, and any bit helps. But in the research, it was shown that meditating for 20 minutes a day can actually change the expression of your DNA. And what happens in the DNA is that there's a switch that is turned off that is associated with inflammatory markers. And so that's the second thing that we know, the second mechanism that we know about chronic pain in terms of how it acts in the body. Systemic inflammation leads to more pain. And so by meditating and turning off that switch in the DNA, several different inflammatory markers, chemicals, cells, different mediators that regulate inflammation in the body are actually turned off. And so through that, meditation can also help us, as one tool. It is not the tool, but it is one tool that can help to manage chronic pain. And as a side note, the other thing that that research has shown in terms of the meditation and doing that for 20 minutes a day for 8 weeks is that the DNA, the expression of the DNA and how the pancreas is working, actually the pancreas is able to work more efficiently when people are meditating. And so that can help control diabetes a little bit better. Lots of different reasons for meditation in the setting of chronic pain, but I wanted to bring those up before we get into this. And I also, just before we get started, want to kind of, bust the myth that meditation is necessarily about just like clearing the mind and thinking about nothing, because I'd say that's maybe impossible for most of us. And so really the goal of meditation is to just notice without judgment, without criticism, and to notice thoughts that continue to arise, and then to let those go. And thoughts will inevitably continue to come up, and that's normal. The number one thing I hear from people when I bring up meditation is that I just can't do it. My head just keeps going. I can't do it. It's impossible for me. And so really, the goal is not to stop the mind. The goal is to notice the mind without judgment, and to continuously let go of the thoughts that are flooding the mind at all times, which is kind of the mind's status quo. So it's a workout for the mind, for sure, that can have some really, really amazing benefits. It can change the different areas of the brain, how large the frontal lobe is. It can increase the gray matter in the frontal lobe. It can also decrease the size of other parts in the brain that are associated with fear and anxiety, and worry and concern. So we are plastic. We are always changing. So let's do a little bit of practice. So I invite you to come to a place where you are comfortable, whatever that means. You can lie down, you can be sitting, you could be standing. So coming to a place that works for your body in order to be in a place for a little while. If you would like to, you can close down your eyes, but you don't need to. So whichever feels more available to you today, eyes open or closed. And then as you begin to settle in to where you are, I invite you to just check in very quickly with yourself, checking in physically to see how your body is doing, checking in mentally to see how your mind is doing. And I invite you to check in emotionally as well to see how you're feeling today. Again, without judging yourself for wherever you are, and knowing that you are exactly where you need to be, wherever you're at today, which may be a very different place from where you were yesterday. As you let go of that self-check-in, I invite you to begin just paying attention to your breath. And so without changing your breath, just notice it going in and out. Just noticing your breath going in and out without making any changes. As your mind begins to settle on your breath, begin to allow any thoughts that are coming into the mind to let go. And so each thought you have, you could place that thought on a cloud or in a car. You can imagine yourself putting that thought in a box. Whatever, if there's a visual image that helps you let go of your thoughts, you can practice that. Or you can just watch those thoughts go and bring your attention back to noticing your breath. Again, not changing the breath at all, just noticing. And so now I'd like to invite you to think of a word, which in yoga we call a mantra, but a focus, a word that you can say over and over again, perhaps a positive word, something that brings you comfort, calm, joy. So thinking of a word or a mantra, and each time you take an inhale, say that word to yourself. And then each time you exhale, say the word to yourself. So really focusing on that word. You could also focus on any images that word might bring up for you. Keeping this word positive, keeping the images positive, And if other thoughts creep in, again, let those go by watching them leave your mind or placing them in something to let them go. So continue to focus on your word or mantra. Each time you inhale, say that word. And each time you exhale, say the word. Continuing to let go of any distracting thoughts without criticizing yourself or judging yourself. Saying that mantra as you inhale, and saying the same mantra as you exhale. If it's helpful for you to have some physical sensations around your meditation, you could bring your attention to your feet. Just press your feet into the floor. If you're lying down, you could bring your attention to the backs of your legs or your arms. Press into your legs or your arms. And then coming back to the mantra and to your breath. And if you notice that physical sensation of pressing into the feet or pressing into the hands or the legs is helpful for you to refocus your attention, you could do that as well. So continuing to use the mantra, inhaling and saying that word, exhaling and saying the same word. Continue to let go of any distracting thoughts. Continue to focus on your mantra, saying the same word with each inhale, saying the same word with each exhale, letting go of any distracting thoughts. Allow the breath to be free and easy. Again, you could press into your feet or your legs. If you're lying down, you could press into the backs of your arms or your hands to add a physical sensation to the refocusing of the mind. Let go of thoughts and then bring your attention back to your mantra and noticing your breath. Be gentle with yourself each time you have a distracting thought. Just gently and compassionately guiding your mind back to your breath and your mantra. Whenever you are ready, you can let go of that mantra, letting go of the breath. Perhaps as we finish this meditation, thinking about something that brings you joy, picturing that in your mind, and allowing yourself to feel the emotion of joy as you look at the image that you've created in your mind. And when you're ready to let that go, you can do that. If your eyes are closed, you can come on back to the room. And just taking a moment to notice if there's been any shift for you, mentally, physically, or emotionally. Thank you for joining me today. Hope you're well.